What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So today is going to be a little bit different video than you guys are normally used to seeing from us. More stuff our style, mine and Ryan's, and that is this LS motor right here. A little bit of background for this thing. Those of you that have watched our videos enough have seen that Trans Am being flooded to about right here with water, and then we fixed it, got it running, and there it sits. Actually runs and drives perfect. So one of the ways we make a living is selling rebuilt title vehicles. For about 5 years, we ended up parting out vehicles, and this motor actually came out of a 2004 GTO that we parted out that had water about as high as the Trans Am that's sitting over there, water up past the dash, and this motor was fully underwater. And the hurricane in Houston, I believe it was Hurricane Harvey. Was that the name of that hurricane? I believe it was. I think so. Down in Houston, Texas, probably, I don't know, 5 or so years ago. Always had plans to get this motor out and rebuild it. It's just not any LS1 or LS2 out of a GTO. This thing came out of a 2004 GTO, which is supposed to have a 5.7, and it is actually a 6-liter block. So there is the first signs that somebody's been in this thing. And second sign was I actually found the owner of this car after we got it. And this thing is actually a 408 cubic inch stroker. It's got all forged internals, forged crank, forged rods, forged pistons. And this thing actually ran and drove before we pulled out of the car. I've got a video of it running. Had a built 4060 transmission, Circle D converter. We're not using any of that stuff for this project, but today we're gonna rip this thing down and go through it and make sure everything's good. It had a valve train noise over here, if I remember right. As it would warm up, it would start making noise. I don't know if it had a lifter issue or what, but that's kind of why we ended up parting the car out. And I mean, the car was almost too rough to even put together and sell. We sell a lot of the vehicles that we get that are flooded or damaged in any way. But you can see this thing was spitting water out of the exhaust, and it was just, it was very deep. But yeah, we're gonna rip it apart right now, see if it needs anything and how bad it is. And then I've got a new camshaft and all sorts of things to put back on this thing before we go and put the new 91mm Torque Storm supercharger on it and then drop it into something cool. All right, we got this thing tore apart, and a few things I didn't want to see. One was dish pistons. I was hoping it was a flat top for a little bit more compression, but whatever, that's not that big of a deal. The issue we've got is this thing is nasty. You can feel everything that you see. So this thing is not as good as I had hoped. Honestly, probably just gonna throw it together and run it and see what happens. And that's the best thing about something like this is put about 20 pounds of boost to it. It'll still make good horsepower, and I mean, as long as it doesn't smoke, should be all right. I don't know if we're gonna hone it or I don't know, we might ball hone it, put some rings in it. I don't know, we haven't got that far yet. Nobody's done any work down here, I don't believe. I don't even know if I think they've been cut or not. But one thing I don't like about the cylinder heads is they are a cathedral port head. And somebody's got in here and ground the heck out of them. And they ported them so much that... Ryan, you got a flashlight? Shine your light in there. They ported them so much that there's a hole in the top of them where the rockers go. So rocker's definitely gonna need some silicone. Not that big of a deal, but I don't know why somebody cut on these heads so much. The exhaust has been cut a little bit too. I mean, we're not trying to set the world on fire with this thing. We're just trying to do burnouts. We are now getting to pull the crank pulley off, get into the oil pan, see what it's like under there. I'm gonna pull the lifters out right now. It was making a noise, I already told you this, I believe on the driver's side. So I'm kind of curious to get that thing apart and look at it. It was only doing it once it warmed up. It didn't do it when it was cold. Real quick, before we continue on ripping that engine apart, make sure you head to hpdepot.com, get yourself a t-shirt. We've got the 67 L88 t-shirt. We have the 69 Camaro and 69 Corvette t-shirt. Everything's in stock, everything's on the website, so head to hpdepot.com and get yourself some merch. Everybody in the comments on behind trashing the bearings in right now.
That's why you never look at the cam bearings in an LS.
Yeah, they had some nasty on it. Right there especially. I can feel that one.
Yeah, look at that one.
Oh yeah. Holy cow. Alright, let's see how nasty she is under here. Oh my gosh, I can see the rust already.
Holy crap. Look at the bottom of that. Oh, look at that.
Oh my gosh. That is nasty.
Gross.
No wonder it made noise. It probably didn't get oil pressure. Jeez, not with that. Oh my gosh, look inside the pickup tube.
Holy crap. Look at this.
I bet it wasn't getting oil pressure to like all the lifters and stuff.
It may not have. I remember one day you got in this thing, we let it run for a little bit, and you just took off down the road, doing burnout sideways and everything.
I was trying to make oil pressure.
Probably. It's probably why it made noise.
No, it made noise before that. Do not blame this one on me. I'll take the blame for breaking a lot of things, but I haven't broke this one yet. This one came broken. But we're gonna fix it, so that's all that matters. One thing we did notice is got a lot more ARP bolts. So that is good. ARP main studs, good thing to see. And then it is a stroker crank because the windage tray is spaced up. So that is also, I mean, I guess good to see. I could care less about the stroker crank, but I guess it is cool that it is a forged crank. Actually, that looks somewhat clean. I mean, compared to what that looks like.
This came out from somewhere. I think it was this one. Yeah, because there's 3 on every other one. That doesn't look too bad.
No, it doesn't. What kind of rods we got? Can you see yet? I can't see it. You read anything on the sides of them yet? Yeah, it's got Wiseco's. So that's why I'm not a big fan of the stroker kit. Look how far the skirt of the piston hangs down. We're spinning her over.
Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, they almost touch the crank. And I'm not going to be nice to this thing. I'd like to zing this thing about 8 grand, and I don't know. I wish it didn't have a stroker crank in it, but we're going to send it the way it is.
It's the worst that could happen.
Blow up like everything else. I mean, blow up like everything else I work on.
Oh, then it gets the 4 end out of a van.
Yeah, our BES stuff doesn't blow up, but it don't look like this.
No.
This is why we don't build the engines in our race cars. Because we're gonna run this ugly, nasty thing. You're gonna get the chain tangled up.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, we run this ugly, nasty stuff, and we just laugh when it blows up, and then we put another one in. It's kind of what's fun about these LS. All right, we're totally disassembled, and here's what we found. Absolutely nothing that'll make noise.
Not yet.
Which scares me.
Well, there's nothing left in it, so I
don't know. Maybe it was a lifter that wouldn't pump up, or maybe with the sludge and the pickup tube, we weren't picking up enough oil pressure.
It was valve. I mean, it wasn't like it was a rod knock or something. It was valve train, so it had to have been a lifter. Some of those lifters looked like they were sucked down pretty far.
Yeah. So who knows? But all in all, not good, but not bad. A ton of junk went through the bearings. Probably after we got it. I probably shouldn't have been beating the crap out of it like I was, but yeah, I did. Pistons look good. I originally thought this thing was freshly put back together, and then the flood came and flooded this guy's garage, but looks like this thing's had some miles on it. Rods look good, pistons look good, we'll use those. The mains are just dirty. They're not spun, they don't have any chunks missing, they're just some junk went through them. The cylinder walls, they are not looking so hot. You can just feel the nastiness in them. I mean, everything you see, you can feel. This one's pretty bad right here. So I don't know if the water did that. I don't know if this thing just looked like crap and then they put it together. Like, this seems like it's wore through it. I don't know if this block looked like that before they started or what, but I don't know. I'm half tempted to just ball hone it, and
That's what I'm thinking.
so this engine would probably scare most people. But let me show you something. People that are new probably wonder why this blue ugly 4-door LTD is sitting here in every single one of our videos. But this is Ryan's car, and the 4.8 liter in this car was worse than that engine. This came out of a flooded Silverado, and it was locked up tighter than a drum, wasn't it?
I had to soak each bank. I had to set it up in the stand and soak each bank for like 3 days at a time, and then it finally broke loose.
What do you say, with training fluid or something?
Yeah, training fluid.
So then what we did was ball honed it, new bearings. We used the same pistons. You put rings in it, right?
Put rings in it, yeah.
And then this thing ended up making 1,000.
1125.
Was it 1125? on what, like 32 pounds of boost?
Something like that, yeah.
We tried to hit it with over 40 pounds of boost and it just floated the valves. There's a video on this thing actually, probably about 2 years ago, maybe closer to 3 years ago, when this thing actually ran. And yeah, so this motor was way worse than that thing, which is why I'm not scared of that. And I've actually got a couple of these 4.8s just sitting around. So if that 4.8 liter, I need to be careful when I say 408 and 4.8, but this 408 cubic inch LS2, I'm really not that scared of. There she is. This thing is ugly and nasty, but we're gonna have fun with it. Actually gonna put this in a square body Chevy truck, a short bed. Not gonna show it to you yet. Gonna show that to you possibly on the next video. Rust-free Arkansas truck, original paint. It's lowered already. Got a 4L80 here, so it's gonna be nice to have overdrive. Gonna send that to our transmission builder. He's gonna give us all the good stuff in that thing. No trans brake yet, but the Circle D converter I got, when I talked to Pete, he said, let's do a single disc if you possibly want to do a trans brake in the future. And I don't know if this thing doesn't leave hard enough, we'll put a trans brake on it. No progress on the 69 Camaro yet. I've actually got to cut the transmission tunnel out of it, and I'm really not looking forward to that, so haven't really done any work to it. This engine sitting right here is for one of the mid-year Corvettes that we bought from that guy when we bought 6 of them. We're gonna get one of those running and probably sell it. Not really a lot going on here right now, but that doesn't mean we're not actually working. Don't forget, hpdepot.com, get yourself a t-shirt. We've got everything in stock, everything ready to ship. So if you order it right now, you'll probably ship out the next day and you should see it in 2 to 3 days. That's gonna wrap this video up. So thank you guys for watching and we'll see you on the next one.